You're listening to the VR-verse, a virtual reality podcast where two friends talk all things VR. Now, let's join your hosts, the VR Realm and Dr. Oculus.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the VR-verse episode 29. Obviously, of course, it's just
You're
me and
listening to the
lovely co-host Dr. Oculus
VR-verse,
this week.
a virtual reality podcast where two friends talk all things VR.
A few months ago.
Now, let's join your hosts, the
Jesus Christ,
VR
I'm
Realm
useless.
and Dr. Oculus.
It must be Tuesday.
You got a double intro.
Mic check.
Interesting. Oh well, something I've done wrong somewhere. Like the intro played twice, or you just got double audio. It's a good start. But anyway, while we wait for that answer, it's something I'll have to look at my end. How have you been?
Good. I went to WASD.
Yes, you did. Yes.
That was fun meeting up with a bunch of people from the VR community. Always love getting together with folks. It's like I go there. I don't think I played a single game, but I chatted with lots of people and ate bagels and got deep down into the nitty gritty with a bunch of people, old and new friends made. Good times.
I understand there wasn't a massive amount of VR there anyway, was there?
No, this year there was Arcade Paradise. Lovely Arcade Paradise. They were there. And then a team that is basically making a VR game in their spare time. I don't know why they keep going, to be fair, because the demo was the same as it was last year as well. And every time I go, I'm like, when you're looking to release, it's, oh, well, we need to be doing a thing, but we'll be full board development in X amount of days. And then they never seem to make it into full board development. But what they had is great. Like the reason that I'm like, when is it coming out? I'm like, because it looks very, very pretty, and it's a nice puzzle game with lots of different things going on. So yeah, I would love to tell you the name of it, but for the life of me, I can't remember. I have to watch PD's footage. He played it.
I think I know which one you mean. I think Games with T played it and talked about it.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Met Games with T. Had a good chat. First time meeting. I said old friends and new.
Could he get over his weird?
yeah.
Could he get over his weird mixed accent of Essex and Brum?
I didn't catch it. I was good. I was all right with it. Yeah, it was. No, it was absolutely fine. The one that shocked me was Tigress.
Yeah.
Didn't realize she would be there. I was chatting earlier and talking about people calling me a tryhard. That was that person.
Oh, okay.
I was like, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It's like, it's a compliment. I was like, no, it's not. So yeah, it was good times. But no, we sort of chat quite a bit now. I dig her. There's no shade.
Yeah.
So yeah, how about you though, dude? Enough about me. How about you?
I'm good. I did a typical thing with Tigress. Like, I seen her posting the train was late, but then I saw Cyborg Angel go live randomly midday, and I was like, how is she there and there? But it's just a woman with red hair, so the same person to me. Typical bloke thing.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, you just saw a red one and
I
thought,
just saw a woman with red hair and thought, same person in it. But yeah, typical bloke thing.
I met Tigress first time at the Pico stand at EGX.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so fun though. So yeah, good times with me, and then VR wise, lots of fun things that we're going to discuss over the course of the next half hour. You went to some live music this month, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to see Nickelback of All My Sins.
You went to see Nickelback?
Yeah.
Did people just stand there looking at photographs the entire time?
The best thing was, like, when he started playing Photograph, he originally sang Look at This Graph, and he said, yes, I do, go on the internet.
I love when people are aware of their own memes and things.
Yeah.
And then I also love when people aren't aware of them and then people make them aware of them. Like
Yeah.
these videos of people like, are you aware of the Tom Cruise hanging off of stuff meme? And he's like, what? And then he just breaks himself like falling over laughing because he's looking at all these pictures of people putting him on the side of all kinds of stuff. So yeah, the internet is a fantastic place that can bring so much joy in the right hands.
Yeah. I think as well this month is crazy for music for me. A lot of travelling back and forth to places. Well, to Manchester, basically.
Okay.
Got Foo Fighters 1 week.
Oh, that's going to be dope.
And the weekend after that, I've got Green Day on the Friday, followed by the Killers on the Saturday. And then the following weekend, I'm in London to see Kings Leon. Like 3 weeks in a row. Be crazy.
That's quite a week you've got going on. Like quite a month or so you've got going on there. That is one hell of a lineup. Like just icons. Every single one of them just complete icons.
Never seen Foo Fighters, never seen Kings Leon. So these are my first time seeing them. So I'm super excited for those ones. Seeing Green Day, seeing the Killers. Well, this will be my fourth time seeing the Killers, I think.
I'm too old and boring, I think. I went to see... Who was the last one I went to see? I think the last person I went to see was Ashanti. I was like, oh, just all this standing up and waiting around. I just want to go home, go to bed.
You've got your Inside Number 9 thing coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, that's like next year, though.
Is that next year?
The booking, it's 2025. Can't wait for that, though.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's my jam. Like, I'll go and see comedy and theatre. I say theatre. I've got no problem going to watch, like, Cat on the Hot Tin Roof or whatever, the Fiddler on the Roof, actual theatrical stuff. But I mostly just go and watch dumb things like The League of Gentlemen.
Yeah, I do a lot of music. A lot of music is mainly my thing.
Do you think VR could ever replace that for you? Like a decent haptic suit and a VR headset?
No, I just like to be there. Pay.
I get that.
Expensive prices for beer and wine, but still enjoy it.
You watch like comedy DVDs and people are just laughing their ass off, and you're like, oh, they've put that laugh track in. It's like, no, there is just a total different vibe of being there.
Yeah.
I love VR. I don't think there's ever going to be a way of mimicking that.
No.
But then again, there are other things that you can do in VR that you can't do in the real world, like the Imogen Heap one in the Wave. Mm-hmm. That was just superb. It was absolutely fantastic watching that with a group of people that we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And then all of a sudden, we were just surrounded by weird, crazy effects and things like that. And it was just, it was so magical to watch that. And I watched it like 3 or 4 times. I went back and recorded it one time just so I could watch it back if I ever wanted to. Wish I got it in 360. I don't know whether they did somebody end up saving the Wave or did it die in the end?
I don't know.
I wanted to look into that.
But yeah, I'm a live music person, so I don't think VR could ever replace being there in person. It's like, everyone there's like at Nickelback, it was actually sold out in Manchester, like sold out 21,000 thing arena, and everyone there's there for Nickelback, so everyone's in the same mindset. You don't have weirdos stood next to you just there because it's live music on. They've paid the money because they want to see the band.
And yet, I big movie goer. I think VR could quite easily replace that experience for me. Like I'd be quite happy to not get kicked in the back or people on phones and talking and being dickheads. And I was literally sat in, I can't remember what movie it was. It might have been It wasn't Ghostbusters because that was actually where they actually served you food. But yeah, I was in a movie and a guy was just eating like a 3-course dinner behind me. Like he was just so much crap. And I was like, just watch the movie, damn it. Just don't you rummaging through an Asda bag and just get pulling stuff after stuff out of it. So yeah, I think rocking a movie in VR, that could very easily replace the cinema experience for me.
Yes, I can like a big
I don't
screen and stuff. You can at least turn around and mute the person if they're being noisy. You can't do that in real life. Mute you.
Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of thing where a vibe doesn't count. I don't need that vibe.
Yeah, speaking of movies, one of my favorite games to play in VR, Power Wash Simulator. We were playing some earlier. It's got a movie DLC and a fantastic movie DLC.
My childhood can be defined by essentially 3 or 4 different franchises. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, or Ninja Turtles if you're not in the UK. Ghostbusters, He-Man, and Back to the Future. Like those 4 franchises, realistically, like 13 was asking me, oh, when did this movie come out earlier and stuff like that. And I could pretty closely pinpoint when that movie came out because I'm just like, where was I in my life at that point in time? Yeah. So sort of the early years, that was He-Man, and then I graduated on to the likes of Back to the Future and Ghostbusters. So yeah, it was one of those things that when Power Wash Simulator was announced for Meta, I was always waiting for the Back to the Future DLC.
Yeah.
SpongeBob came out and I was just like, oh, I don't care about SpongeBob, but that's a good sign for me. And then sure enough, out of nowhere, was there any hype? Did you get any emails from Dreams? I don't seem to get emails from them anymore.
I got one, yeah. They basically announced it the day it came out this time though. Like no, it wasn't like, I know with the SpongeBob, I think it was about 2 or 3 days before it came out, and Dreams at least announced it saying, oh, SpongeBob's coming.
Yeah.
And embargoes dropped on reviews on that day, and then this time it was like on the day it got announced, so embargoes on the content were restricted to that day, like at the same time the announcement come out, and it just, yeah, it's a bit crazy this time, but
I basically saw Welsh Gamer's video on it, and I was like, oh, that's a thing? Oh, I need to get into this. And that was about it. So yeah, it was, I love that. I played the DLC out a year ago. I cleaned the DeLorean. I made Daysnetics sit and watch me clean a DeLorean. He's like, I fucking hate this game. Yeah, I know. I'm sat there cleaning a DeLorean, and he's like, I've got nothing else to do. It's fair. And yeah, so I did that then, and I just couldn't wait for it to come to VR. And I love the stuff they do with it, like power to. I think it's End Dreams just publishing it, and it's being actually done by
Future Labs.
Future Labs, that's it. Yeah. Future Labs. And they did the car mechanic sim, I believe, as well.
I believe they did, yeah.
And they're doing pretty good things. Like they're going from strength to strength. It took a while to get Power Wash Sim off the ground for me. I went back and maybe 3, 4, 5 months later.
Yeah.
And problems that were there at release that you overlooked because it's Power Wash in VR were still there.
Yeah.
And then when they reached out, it was like, oh, we're releasing this DLC, which was the Muckingham files. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Have they anything else coming with this? Like, no, it's just DLC. I was like, oh, okay. But the problems that I had, at least, like the persistent snap turning.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted it to stay as smooth turning, but it just forgot every single time you reloaded the level. Yeah. They fixed all that, so it's now the perfect game.
They fixed that, and we got like when we were playing earlier, there's only one thing, and I know you mentioned it on the stream, is the lack of VoIP, but as you said, at the moment, with it being sole platform, you can use the meta chat, so maybe it's not something they're concerned about. Maybe.
Yeah, why waste time and code when Meta have already fixed that problem?
Yeah.
Most people have to employ a form of VoIP. They use plugins and things like that to put it into their games. Why bother? Why pay for that when you don't need to?
Yeah. There's an easy way around it. Just jump in the meta chat use their call system, so it's not
Yeah,
much.
the big downside to using the meta chat in the past was, as a creator, if I'm in a chat, you couldn't hear the other side of things.
Yeah.
But the meta casting now seems to cast the voice chat as well, so
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good with the meta chat.
Yeah, I think when I first jumped in, I was like, I don't know if your stream will be hearing me, because I was like, I don't know whether it does it or not, but turned out there was. There were.
Well, it occurred to me that I could hear you, and technically the way I listen to the audio is I monitor the stream audio, so
Yeah.
yeah, the stream must be getting it too, which is cool. But Back to the Future, big fan, or can we no longer be friends anymore?
I'm a fan of them. I wouldn't say like I'm the biggest fan, but I'm a fan of it. I like the movies. I wouldn't. It's like I've watched them many, many times, but I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan. But it's not something that if it was on telly, I'd definitely watch it. It wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's alright. If it was on, I'll watch it basically.
I have zero desire to tattoo anything to my body, but if I did, it would probably be something to do with Ghostbusters and or Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's like
Pretty
I've
much.
got a Labyrinth tattoo because that's my favorite movie of all time. That was me growing up, Labyrinth. Things like that.
Which, you mentioned Labyrinth. The Walkabout mini golf. They've announced they're gonna do paid Avatar DLC.
Yeah.
Is that a bit too far? Like, do you think many people are gonna care to pay to look like freaking Ludo?
I mean, Ludo's already in there, isn't he? The paid Avatar stuff's like they're doing a Dark Crystal one, aren't they? Dark Crystal, Fraggle Rock avatars. But my understanding is they're going to be cheap, and they're basically just covering the licensing to have them in there. Like they're not even trying to cover, like make a profit on them. It's just a sort of like covers their license for using them basically.
It's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, and I do want to support Mighty Coconut, but you are literally paying for somebody else to look at a Fraggle.
Yeah, it's not something I'll rush out and bother getting. Like I think the Avatar system on there is good enough.
Yeah, I don't see many people flocking to buy that other than to support the Mighty Coconut. And if the Mighty Coconut aren't getting any money from it, then it seems kind of pointless.
Yeah, I think as
People do love buying skins.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in Population 1. Like, I see people go mad needing the skins in Population 1 and stuff, and I'm like, you're probably never going to wear it. Like,
is that for guns, though, or is that for...
There's, like, character skins in it as well.
A character as well?
Yeah.
I don't get buying a skin for a first-person game. I don't understand it. You're not going to buy a skin for Duke Nukem so he can look like Elvis. You're never going to see Duke.
I think the only game I've ever bought skins for was... I bought them for Destiny to look like Garrus from Mass Effect.
But as a third person a lot of the time. So it's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, there's no third person in these games. So I don't... At the end of the day, like, you know, if that is your thing, go nuts and buy it. But to me, that's potentially one transaction too far. I don't think I'll follow him down that path.
I mean, they announced Elvis Corsa as well, haven't they? But that's not till 2025. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, if they don't have if the finishing isn't potting it in a toilet, they've missed the mark. The 18th hole isn't potting in a toilet, they've completely missed their mark.
That would be absolutely... Did he actually die on the crapper? There's so many things you hear about Elvis, but you don't know how much you can believe.
But yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Bubba Hotep?
No.
Bruce Campbell is playing Elvis. and he the premise is that Elvis got sick of being in the limelight, so he paid the best Elvis impersonator to swap places with him. And that Elvis really liked booze and pills, blah blah blah. Signed his entire life away, just enough to get himself like a trailer and that, and just live in simplicity. And yeah, so he's actual Elvis in a retirement home. Nobody believes him that he's Elvis. They think he's the impersonator. And if you get a chance to watch Bubba Hotep, you should totally watch Bubba Hotep. And the words Bruce Campbell as Elvis should be enough to make you want to watch it.
I did go to see.
Totally want to watch it now.
Back in February, I know this was obviously before we had the guests on. Just jump back to music for a second. I did go and see Alvana, which is an Elvis-fronted Nirvana tribute band. Entertaining is one way to.
So many questions.
One way to explain it is just entertaining. It's just entertainment. Like,
it sounds dope.
They put on a fantastic show and everything.
I can barely understand Elvis most of the time. I can barely understand Kurt Cobain most of the time. So when you combine that to Kurt Cobain in a sequin jumpsuit, I'm like, I'm in.
I went to see him. It was only in local town Middlesbrough. I went to see him in the town hall there. It was just pure entertainment value. It's worth it for the entertainment you get out of it.
I kind of wouldn't mind. Like, please tell me there is video that I can watch of that, because I'm just so curious.
Yeah, there's videos online because they've done like download festival and stuff.
Okay, I want to look at that.
Yeah, they're really funny, really good. But yeah, it's just interesting to see them. They just have a menagerie of weird courses you don't expect.
Which occurs to me, I don't think we've had a proper sit-down chat in months. Because they've announced the Wallace and Gromit DLC.
Yeah.
As well, I went to, once again, dragged my ass all the way down to London for them to announce the Wallace and Gromit DLC, which I was shocked. I thought and was hoping that they were potentially going to announce a new IP address. Is it Saturday yet? Yeah, I thought they was going to announce a new game, but they announced the Wallace and Gromit DLC, and I was like, do you know what? I'm cool with that. That's totally fine. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that when that comes out, because Wallace and Gromit was one of those things when you were a kid, it was special. Something really like, oh yeah, there's a new Aardman Creature Comforts or Wallace and Gromit out. That was, your mum let you have the TV on a Saturday night, even though there was something she wanted to watch on Casualty or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always a special event when an Aardman feature came out.
Yeah,
so.
I absolutely love Creature Comforts as well. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was something more than just drawn. It was the extra sort of layer of artistic expression that you were like, oh, yeah, this is just superb. So yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait for the Wallace and Gromit DLC.
I think it's good that they're keeping that game active, because there's that many people like it. There's that many people who just jump in and have a game with their friends. So it's good that they've just kept it active with new courses.
It's one of the best social VR experience. I think we was talking about this with Alberto last month.
Yeah.
As a social platform alone, that game is it's indispensable. Like you can't beat it. And then you get to play mini golf at the same time, which is so cool. And it's something that even your nan can play. My mum will play Walkabout mini golf. She won't play VR chat. It's too complicated, but she can stand there and swing a putter.
Yeah.
So that's just awesome that they're keeping that going. It's one of those games that never needs a 2.
Yeah. Sort of like
there's just no point.
Sort of like the rhythm games never need a 2. They just need to do track packs, and these just need to keep making courses, and people will buy them. People will play them.
Yeah. They'll go from strength to strength. If they changed it, if they went to a sequel, they would have to basically just ditch the low poly.
Yeah.
I think that would be the way that you do a sequel. But then if you're going to ditch the low poly, what you eventually run into is ultimate swing golf.
Yeah.
Just ends up looking like that.
Definitely, yeah. Which shocked me. Like, I didn't actually realise until about an hour before getting my access that it was made by the people Clap Hands who made everybody. It was made by the same people who made Everybody Golf. I knew it was Clap Hands, but for some reason it just didn't register in my head. It was Everybody's Golf. So
Everybody's Golf on the PSVR. I didn't play anywhere near enough of that, and that's always been one of my bigger regrets.
Yeah.
Like, I would be damned if I'm gonna crack the PSVR 1 out to play it now, but I always regretted that I didn't play that to death. And this is a way of me fixing that problem.
Yeah.
Because I love this game.
So I got it on PSVR and then played a little bit flat screen of Everybody's Golf, yeah. And then I was just like, do I trust the move controllers to track properly for like a golf game? So I didn't actually ever go into it because I was like, I don't expect it would be work.
No, it was pretty solid. It was pretty solid. As far as golfing goes, but I just never played a great deal of it.
Yeah.
And sadly, Twitch doesn't keep the VODs longer than 20 minutes, so I can't even go back and watch my stream of it. I'm sure I did play a little bit of Everybody's Golf. And I've played so many of them.
Yeah.
Even like PSP. Like that just drained so many hours on a PSP. Love it. So when it came to Quest, I thoroughly recommend. Like, it's 5 stars for me. I need to go on and rate it. Well, that's a 5-star game.
Yeah. I think my review's scored about 94 because I still think there's some stuff that could be better.
Like what?
One I think it needs. I know you can unlock up to 5 courses, but and that's plenty for now. I just want to add more. But my main issue was with the challenge mode. You unlock about 20 costumes before you get for your receptionist before you get the first course. I'm like, the courses should come before the costumes to me, especially for your receptionist. Like,
yeah,
like
I get that. That makes sense. They could potentially. I mean, if they're not going to give you more courses, then maybe they need to switch it up. So I completely agree with you what you're saying there. Actually, it's kind of slow going in the early days because they're like, okay, beat this next 3 holes with a maximum of 8 over par, and then you do that. And it's like, right, beat the next 3 holes with a maximum of 8 over par, and you just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas it could be like, okay, beat these 3 random courses, or 1, 3, and 5, or something like.
Yeah.
Vary it up rather than just the same block.
Who have that stock?
These golfs, they had like special shots that you could do if you pressed like square and X when you was doing your shot.
Yeah.
Just something to change it up, and all they seem to have is vacuum cups.
Yeah.
So then they did vacuum cups, but you could only chip the ball. You could not putt.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I think we keep losing him.
I don't know if I'm ever going to see the 5th course.
Yeah, I keep losing your audio. Your camera freezes.
I keep losing your audio as well, yeah. I just looked at the stream and I was looking like I was sneezing.
Yeah. It's only going for like not even a minute, but hopefully it'll stop doing it. But yeah, I think it's just unlock the courses. You don't have to unlock them like straight away, like the first thing you unlock. But I'm sort of like up to challenge 37 and unlocked 1 course, and I'm like, I can't be bothered doing all these challenges. I just let me unlock. I should unlock the courses by now.
Yeah, maybe if there was a coin system, like if you, because you do a perfect finish or just a finish or something, right?
Yeah.
If you do a perfect, maybe you get 3 coins, then you can use those 3 coins to buy a skin for the receptionist.
Yeah.
That would be better than just the, oh yeah, you've played about 18 of these levels now. Now your receptionist is wearing pink.
Yeah, and you see your
Don't care.
receptionist in the loading menu, and that's it. When you were picking a course
Yeah.
and setting the game up, you don't really ever see her again.
Yeah.
It's like it just seems like. I mean, even the extra costumes for your caddies, like you could show you could still have all the courses and then show you've gone even further through the challenges if that's what you want to do online by having your caddy in a set costume, which is hard to get, whatever. Like, it just seems like they put a lot of longevity, they put a lot of it in to, I think, to try and make people keep going back. But with some people, it's just, they're just going to go, it doesn't matter, then I'll just play the first 2 courses all the time.
Yeah. Or you just need that one friend that's willing to grind it out.
Yeah.
And then just multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because that's where its legs is. It's multiplayer. It's not in the challenge mode. The mixed reality mode is a demo at best. You are just batting balls into oblivion or putting, and that's it. There's no. It's not the campaign in mixed reality. It is just, oh look, I can do this cool thing, and then 2 minutes later, you're like, yeah, I've done that. I don't need to do it again. So the legs is going to be the multiplayer. That's going to be the thing that keeps me going back.
Yeah.
If anybody ever says, Doc, do you want to play this? I'm in. I'll always play Ultimate Swing Golf.
Yeah.
Same with the Forever games. I'll always play those. If anybody asks, I'll always play them.
Like, outside of, obviously, that challenge issue, the game is fantastic. Like, I think it's on par with Walkabout in the way you just want to jump in with friends and play 9 holes of golf.
Yeah.
Like, it offers that side of it over the putting. You've got, I mean, it shows how much I knew about golf, because I kept saying in the first thing, I think it was with Alex, who was on the Cross Button VR podcast team, and I was going, oh, I'm going to use my 31 club. And he was like, you what? I was like, I've got 31, 41. He was like, do you mean 3 iron? I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's such a noob. You know what the P means, and that's it.
Yeah. See, I thought the W was for wedge, but that's wood, isn't it?
There's a PW
and
an SW.
Yeah.
Which is a pitching and sand wedge.
Oh, okay, maybe that. I know wedge.
But then there is the 1W, 2, 3.
Which is a wood.
Yeah.
I did play quite a bit of Tiger Woods on Xbox 360, so I'm shocked that it took me. I just didn't know the names of the clubs, really. Well.
It's like games like that, especially in the olden days, the club that you needed was just presented. So you never needed to be like, should I use a putter or a sand wedge or like you didn't need to know the club because it was already picked. Yeah. And now modern games, you have to manage a rally team whilst also being the rally driver.
Yeah.
And part of me longs for the old days where I just got to drive.
Longs for the old days for me is Football Manager, where you did the transfers, picked your team. Now it's like give them a team talk, sort your coaching stuff out. And I was like, your backroom stuff out. Like, I just want to buy players, pick a team, and say, hopefully that's good enough to win this next match.
Yeah, that's it. I don't need to be looking at a calendar and being like, if I train my staff on that day, I can't enter that race. So then I'm gonna let the sponsor down, and I won't get as much money. So then I can't upgrade. Oh, just give me a car and let me drive.
Yeah,
but WRC is pretty special in VR. It is good. I just hate that I have to pick events.
I think I played WRC 6 was the last one I played, and I played that with Vorpex. Back in the day.
WRC I shoehorned in with UEVR, and it worked pretty close to what it runs now. They've made it slightly more efficient, but yeah, if you UEVR'd it a while ago, it's pretty similar. But it's a good game. I do dig it, and I've actually stopped playing it because I started playing Dave the Diver of all games. So yeah, I do need to get back to that though. So much going on, so many great things, so many things to talk about.
Yeah, it's just especially with taking a break for a bit with guests. Like, it just seems like, I mean,
Massive catch up.
you maybe would have caught up more after the Alberta one, but unfortunately I wasn't well, so we just had to run the pre-record rather than join afterwards. But that's the thing. I went out. I was off for that probably a week and a half, 2 weeks, no VR, because I just felt so bad, and then it just built up a backlog. And but it's not bad to have a backlog, but when you want to try and cover a lot of stuff for your website, so when you've just got this pile of games now, which you should have been playing in that time, and you just haven't. But sometimes life kicks you in the balls.
It does. It absolutely does. So what did you manage to play then?
First thing I wanted to jump into after I felt well enough was Madison. Like, I was going into that completely blind. I've never watched anyone play this flat screen. I've never played the flat screen. I just knew it was like scientifically proven to be the scariest game ever made. And I thought,
I didn't know about the science part, but I knew a bunch of people that was just like, it's the scariest thing I've ever played. And when after the third person said that, I was like, nope.
Yeah, I thought like what better time to play it than first time playing it than playing it in VR. And yeah, it is scary. Like, I'm not normally too bothered about VR horror, but that one, yeah, it's like, because it messes with your head so much. So all these little noises. What they've done really well is you could be walking down a hallway and you hear a door shut, but they actually didn't any door shutting. They just put the audio in to make it sound like a door's open, a door shut far in the distance in the house. There's always these just constant little noises, and then obviously when it actually happens in the game, it freaks you out more because you're thinking, oh, it's just something in the background, like
That's what a good horror game needs to do. It needs to be that. Five Nights is scary. Don't get me wrong. It's just a metric ton of cheap jump scares. All that is. It's just cheap jump scares. You need to build up the fear and the dread with clever audio and, you know, freaky little sort of glimpses of, did I just see an evil thing over there?
yeah.
And you need to freak yourself out. So then if you do get a payoff, if you do get the jump scare, it's earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt that Five Nights never really earned that.
There's part of it where I was walking up and you turn around, you look down this hallway, and all you can see is the face of this angel statue, like lit up from like the lighting, like natural lighting from what you would get, but the angle you get of it when you look down the hallway is just. And I didn't want to walk down that part because I was like, that angel's gonna do something. As I walked down, nothing happened. When I eventually got the guts to walk down, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then I did a bit more of the game, went back, turned that corner, and the angel wasn't there. But I've already been that freaked out by it. Now I'm on edge, like, where's it gone? What's it going to do? Where's it gone? Because I thought that was going to do something, like, last time I saw it, and I didn't want to continue going down that whole hallway. Like, now it's like, it's gone. Where's it gone? What's it going to do?
I definitely would never buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would need like a sponsorship to play it. Like I would need money. I would need cold hard cash to put myself through that because I just will be terrified the entire time. Maybe I wouldn't be. I don't know because Resident Evil's not a scary game, is it? That's not scary. Resident Evil is not scary.
This is like levels above 7, like levels above it. The only thing I'm not keen on it, and again, I scored this 97. Like, I absolutely loved it, but in the end, but sort of scored it down because the VR interactions aren't there. Like, you've got your both hands, but you press a trigger to put a key in the door. You don't you go in your inventory.
Yeah, Resident Evil do that as well. Like
you can sort of tell it's flat screen first.
Mostly.
Yeah. Or it'll come up, you'll need to look through a wall, and it'll come up and it'll come up with a trigger button, you press the trigger and then you look into the wall. It's that sort of thing that made me score it down. It could have been a perfect game really if it was fully implemented to me because it was that good.
Points to the devs though.
Yeah, massive kudos bringing it over.
They recognized there was a market for it and implemented VR.
Yeah.
So definitely points to them.
Yeah.
I believe he definitely takes the credit for it, but it was the likes of people like PD forcing the game into VR using mods.
Yeah, messaging, tagging the devs in. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently it's stuff like that gets it made. So yeah, but points to him for listening and actually making it. And so on that basis alone, I'm like, oh, I should buy it, but I can't do it. Can't do it. But well done to the devs for doing it. Maybe if I ever did buy it, I'd just buy the games.
Herb games, yeah, they like
games version.
Yeah.
Get it physical.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's definitely probably the scariest game I've played. Like flat screen VR. Like I think it's good to go into playing. Like I think it was one thing Games that he pointed out when I was speaking to him about it is I went back and watched people play it to like where I was up to, so I'd already done that part and but I want to see what other people are getting out of it in VR. And he pointed out to me when you actually watch people, everyone's always got their hands in a defensive position, which shows that is messing with people.
Feel genuinely afraid. Yeah.
Yeah, like the hand they're not using is always up by the chest, like in a defensive position. And I was like, I never really noticed it, but then watching my stream back of me playing it, and yeah, my hand's always up. Like, oh yeah, you do play in a defensive position when you're playing this.
I mean, see, now I'm gonna be aware of that. If I ever did play it, I need to
keep my hand out outside.
For me to forget that, so next week will be fine. Damn it! I'm curious now. I can't play that game. It'll be too scary.
I did opt for one that's too scary and one that's comically scary. And I dropped you a message earlier in the week. Oh no, sorry, late last week saying, "Will you buy content warning as a VR mod? You need to go with somebody else at least."
Yeah, that was a very interesting evening to say the least. I had no idea what to expect, other than various places saying it was a horror game, and I was like, but all your pictures you see, it just looks like 4 freaking Teletubbies romping around in a nice, happy place.
Yeah.
And then you go in the bill, and that's where things got interesting.
Yeah, go into the old world.
Mod. They've done a good job sort of bringing that to VR. The same people that modded. No, it's gone. They modded another game apparently, and they're like, "That this mod isn't as good as that mod, but it's still very functional."
Yeah.
And it is very, very functional. The game itself is just odd, and I did get a little bit spooked, I guess. At times, I walked around a corner and there was a sudden great big spider lunging at me, or well, I called Blender Man and then realized that he was actually just a whisk.
I found
I had a great time.
I found the parts that freaked me out while we were playing it was again the audio cues when those like bangs were going off or the random noises, and you just know there's something somewhere, some waiting somewhere for you.
I would like to play that again with more people.
Yeah.
And maybe now I know what I'm expecting. A little bit of prior research to know how to last more than 3 days.
Yeah. I did some research, and what I got from it after we played it, because if you don't know what content warning is for any reason, it's just a game where you go to the old world, which is all black and white. You're trying to get SpookTube famous, so you're recording what you see in this old world. You've only got a set percent of battery, so you can only record for so long. And the idea is rack up your views, become famous, viral, basically. But what I've found is it recommends go with at least 3 people. One of them sort of got to be willing to be attacked. because you filming people getting attacked is going to do your views better.
I'll do that.
The person who's got the camera should also every now and then switch to selfie view and do a
Selfie view, yeah.
talk to the camera between like stuff. Zooming in on the monsters with the camera rather like zooming in and out on the monsters. And things like this, and whoever's got the camera just has to just think about their own life. So if oxygen's low, like when the oxygen was low, we were waiting for each other. The person who's got the camera should just try and get out, because obviously...
Yeah, content is king.
The hospital bills, if you leave someone down there alive or dead, are so small compared to what you get in revenue for getting a good video. So it's it's basically just save yourself if you're the cameraman.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm happy to be cannon fodder. I'll bait monsters.
No, Days wanted to go in, wasn't it? Dazed said he's got it and always wants to go in, so we'll have to message him.
It was Clickster, wasn't it?
Was it Clickster? One of them.
Yeah.
Clickster, yeah. It was Clickster, yeah.
Yeah, it was Clickster,
yeah.
Which is going to be interesting because I scream out, "Paul, come here!" So that could get interesting.
Is he called Paul as well?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh. 13's also up to try. She can obviously play with us on flat screen until she gets the VR sorted.
Build your PC.
She can play with us on flat screen. But yeah, it was definitely a good. I mean, it was worth the £5, whatever. Was it £5 something on sale?
It was.
I mean, it's only £6 normally, so it's not like a crazy expensive game.
It'll be the reason why it's been presumably moderately successful.
Yeah,
is just cheap price and content. The thing that it does very, very good is those clips you can save them to your desktop.
Yeah.
And then post them to the internet very, very easily.
Yeah.
And they look really good. They look shit, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
In a bad way, or bad in a good way. They look so like it would entice me. If I saw more of those, it would totally entice me.
It makes me think of found footage.
Yes, very much so.
It's terribly good, but so is the game.
Yes.
The game is terrible, really, but it's good.
And I wonder if there's more places, because we saw
a ship.
I want to say
a factory, didn't we?
Locations.
And then
we saw like a factory, a boat, and a cave system.
Yeah, cave system.
I just wonder if there's any more places as well.
But again, it just seems one of these games that, a bit like Among Us, it's very it's very like watchable. It's very stupid. So people are gonna automatically cheap as well. So people are gonna automatically like draw to it. Oh, I can get my friends to buy this because it's. I'm saying this. I got you to message you about content warning. It's not. If you want to ask your friend to buy it, it's not like you're asking them to go out and spend 50 quid, 30 quid, 50 quid. You're going, can you just like
even if you play it one time, it's still going to be worth the £5 that you spend.
Yeah.
Which is good. Once again, always willing to jump into that if Clickster, you probably don't know we exist, but we're here, dude. We'll totally play it.
Yeah, I'll have to drop him a message on Twitter or Discord and see when he wants to jump in.
Yeah. There's some other mods come out. I've not quite gotten around. I've managed to buy the game. I don't know whether it's still on sale. Watch Dogs. Luke Gross is at it again. He's now made a mod for Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs, which I think could be really, really good. I would love to mod Watch Dogs 3 because that's set in a modern-ish day London. But that brings my PC to its knees. I got Watch Dogs 3 with the graphics card, and I can't run it on Ultra. So to VR that would murder it. But I'm very much looking forward to testing that mod out in the very, very near future. The Luke Ross mod is generally okay-ish when I'm not streaming and fine-ish when I am.
Yeah. I think he does.
So
He does great work. I think I've done a few of his. Did his GTA mod, of course, just to try it.
oh, absolutely, you have to do that.
He did Horizon, didn't he? Was that?
Yes,
Yeah, it
Horizon
was.
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I was fan, and his Cyberpunk one.
Yeah.
The one
So
I've
if you
used.
subscribe to the Patreon, you basically get access to the Luke Ross mod, which just does all of them.
Yeah. They're the games I've tried
So
them with.
yeah, I've since purchased Cyberpunk and intend on playing a lot of that as well.
Mhm.
I have intentions and what I absolutely end up executing is two totally different things. Sadly. But yeah, I want to play. I started playing Fallout 4 like the rest of the world did recently, thanks to the TV show.
Yeah. I went back into it,
So
and
that
I got the I just bought the Game of the Year edition for Fallout 4 off CD keys for about £6. So I had all the DLC, so I could do Gingus's mod thing. And got
which
it.
the
Makes a difference.
DLC you can't install with the VR mod, can you? You have to download the flat version, install the DLC, then uninstall the flat version, but keep the DLC.
Yeah, you download the flat version, go and get the DLC files out of the folder and copy them and paste them into the VR one, and then
It's a pain in the ass.
you can uninstall the flat one if you want.
Yeah.
You just need the DLC files, but yeah. Only problem is
I need to get around to doing that.
her mod file's so big, you also have to pay a month for Nexus Mods Premium because you can only download and install 200 megabytes or something. So
Yeah.
you have to have the files like 24 gig or something. So you have to like.
Honestly, I've never had a great experience modding Skyrim or Fallout. I've just never. Every time I do it, I look at it and I'm like, I kind of don't know what I've done with my time, but now it's stable and it breaks. So I've just kind of stopped.
I think that's the problem I've had with the Kingus one is the game just randomly closes every now and then. And obviously, I've not bothered to go and set a auto save thing up, which saves every couple of minutes, which he recommends you do, but I've not been and done that. And so sometimes I just completely forget, and then I've just lost 30, 40 minutes. I'm just like, right, okay. This is too much of a tune.
The days when you could use the Steam Workshop
yeah.
on the Skyrim and Fallout. I did that, and that was great. That was fine. That was easy. It was fun. But then Bethesda's like, no, we want to charge people for mods instead. And was it the game? The modding side of the game just died for me.
Yeah,
I'm way too lazy to put effort in.
When first getting Skyrim VR on PC, and like you, I spent hours modding it, and then it let me play the opening scene where see the dragon comes, and when you go and run through the first door, after when the dragon's chasing you, it just closed the game. I couldn't go any further. Uninstall the mod, I could do it. So something in the mod files that would just go, nah, you're not allowed to go through that door. So I ended up just playing it without mods.
Yeah.
Which I'm worried I'll start doing with Fallout, because if it keeps crashing on me, I'll just be like, might as well play it with no mods and it not crash, not just randomly close.
Yeah.
But that mod list does make it outstanding. Like, everything looks so nice.
Benjo did a video where he installed like a couple of 100 mods. And it looked different.
Yeah.
A bit more better.
Yeah. But then you like I said, you got likes of the Luke Ross one, you got likes of the UE injector, even just Prey Dog's RE framework ones. They're just like drag and drop and they work fine.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, UE one sometimes takes a bit of faffing with settings to make sure your computer can handle it, but that's expected. But the game,
and then
the games don't crash; they just framey, and you need to sort your frames out basically.
Yes. The only other thing is if you're trying to shoehorn a third-person game into a first-person and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not required, but it's an option that you have, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And the thing, I think third-person VR gets a bad rap, and I think it's really quite serviceable and good.
Yeah.
In third person, I quite liked when. So way back when I used Vorpex on Batman Arkham. I want to say City, but it could be. There was another one where he was out in the city, not Arkham Knight. Origins.
Origins was
No, it was City.
Origins
It
was
was
yeah.
City.
Origins was the one with the lot of the Batmobile stuff in, wasn't it? That people was that Origins?
No, that was Arkham Knight.
All right, okay.
But yeah, so it was City. It was Arkham City that I played, and I shoehorned that into VR in Vorpex. I was like, this really works. Like third person VR, just the depth and everything. I don't need to be first person. I played so much of that game in VR and didn't care. Loved it. I absolutely loved what I was playing. So yes, with UEVR, you can shoehorn it into first person. You don't need to.
No.
You don't want to. You can play third.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it is nice also looking at games from angles you're not supposed to look at. Like I played Martha is Dead. That got interesting in places from seeing things I shouldn't be able to look at.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think third person VR gets a bad rep, but some fantastic. Senua's Sacrifice, I know the second one's out and people have been UE VR in that one, but even there, when they released in VR, the first one, that's all third person. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I honestly don't see why they've not added VR to it.
Xbox owned, I don't know. Microsoft owned.
But you literally just like you put it in UE VR and it's in VR. It's exactly the same experience as what you had before.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they didn't have to put the time and effort in because you could just mod the crap out of it, but it's just a shame. It's just a shame they didn't make it VR. But yeah, purchased by Microsoft, you would. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, but and apparently there's just no plans either. But I'll pray those got covers, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've got Game Pass. I probably will give that a swing at some point.
And go from the Arkham mod to we're getting an Arkham game.
Yeah, we are. No anything at the minute, is there?
No.
It's just literally a couple of images, and that's of just the shadow of Batman.
A couple of images, a CGI trailer. Like a not game engine trailer.
But I'm hopeful. It's being made by Camouflage.
Yep, who made Iron Man.
Were not too recently acquired by Meta. And like you said, they previously made Iron Man VR, which was an astonishing game. For PSVR, to pull that game off the way they did is very, very good.
I wasn't interested in it on PlayStation. It was like, because I'm not like a big superhero movie comic, but so I was like, I'm not really that bothered. But then came out on Quest, and Camouflage reached out to me and said, "Do you want to review this?" When they were bought by Meta and took Iron Man to Quest, and it was fantastic on Quest. Like,
bet it is.
So when I seen it was them making the Batman one, I was sort of like more positive than negative about it, because I know that what a good job they did with the Iron Man game. So
yeah, and then with the money of Meta behind them,
yeah,
and presumably it will be. I don't know if DC have a habit of being very dictatorial when it comes to their games. But but yeah, to get that, because Rocksteady's venture into Batman in VR was good. It was fine. It's an experience that anybody can do.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
My wife would be terrified.
But it was a good.
But it's a nice venture into that world.
Gonna say, yeah. Like, again, that's one I didn't play on PlayStation, but and I got it on CD keys for about £2.29 one time, and for PC, and I played it, and I was like, yeah, this is. I mean, it's not available on the PC anymore, is it? I mean, I think you can still get keys on CD keys, which will let you redeem, but you can't physically go and purchase it on PC anymore. It's gone.
Like on Steam or anything?
On Steam, yeah, it's gone. But I think you can still buy it through CD keys. It'll let you redeem the code. Yeah, I think it's gone off Steam completely.
£3.74 on Steam right now.
Oh, is it on Steam? I thought it was now. I've already got taken off Steam.
75% off.
Ah, I already got taken off Steam. Maybe they change your mind.
So yeah, it's still there.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely worth. I mean, it's good. It's more about the investigation and basically seeing the characters, really.
Yes. Yeah, up close with like Cobblepot and Croc and Joker and stuff like that, and that's
the end of it. I'm not going to ruin the end of it in case someone else. I mean, it's danger, but someone might think, "Oh, I might go and buy that." Actually, now with this one's been announced, the ending is freaky. The ending does make you feel unnerved a little bit.
That's it. That Kerry wouldn't be able to do anything with it. She'd be terrified. Through various reasons, but
yeah.
And I tried to, I couldn't place it in the Arkham universe.
No.
So it is Rocksteady, but I couldn't figure out where it lived.
Yeah.
Probably at the end of all the games. I don't know. But yeah, it was a great way of showing off all of the assets in glorious 3D.
Yeah.
Interactively in VR. That's what it was. It was a
close up to the penguin's fantastic. The penguin part, the close up. I love that part. But it's sort of like an interesting thing to see as well. These studios jumping on. I know Marvel have agreed to do interactive movie type thing for the Apple Vision Pro. Is it Portals or something like that? Can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I saw something about it. It's something to do with Doctor Strange, isn't it? And I saw that and I was like, God damn it! Like the early days of the AVP, it was. I mean, it is still very much in its infancy, but I couldn't see it as a gaming device. It was a media consumption device.
Yeah.
But as days go on and resolution games are like, you can play Demio in like perfect pass-through on the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I know Synth Riders put one out, didn't they?
So Synth Riders I did get to play. And it's not their fault. They've done good things with what they had.
Yeah.
But that is not Synth Riders. It's like playing Synth Riders with tracking issues.
All right, okay.
So I sat there and I was moving my hand backwards and forwards quickly, and my hand would reach the ball before it's gone down, and like there's just so much delay on tracking the hand. It's not a viable way of playing Synth Riders.
Yeah.
It's like playing Dance Dance Revolution on an iPod Touch. You've got your fingers and you're doing things, but it's not the same experience as playing the actual thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. The Lego Brick Tales was a bit clunky compared to the likes of a PC or playing it on a Quest or something. So yeah, it was fine, but it's still very much in its infancy. But as time goes by, these tentpole things that you can do, like, it bugs me that I can't watch Disney Plus in 3D anywhere but on a Vision Pro. because I like 3D, but I can't get a Vision Pro. So I don't know if they came to this country. I'm trying to think of the absolute maximum I would be willing to spend on that headset.
Yeah.
And I think maybe. See, I don't. If it was £1,700, I would look at that and think I could, but I could also get a 4090 and probably get more use out of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what my maximum number would be to make me actually part with the money.
Yeah.
But it's a good bit of kit. Just it's still early days. Like it needs to version 2 now.
Yeah.
The first iPod Touch was revolutionary. It was brilliant. We had a color screen that I could touch and interact with on an iPod, on an MP3 player. But the second one was infinitely better.
Hmm.
And I want the second one. I want it to be better and cheaper.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
How did we get here?
We're talking about Batman, and I mentioned Marvel.
Yes. That was it. So yeah, that could be fun. It could be fun.
But from what I've read about, it's like meant to be like just an hour interactive experience rather than a game. Like,
yeah, that's what the Apple Vision Pro does well.
Yeah.
It does the. So, if I said to you, okay, you've got 10 minutes to show VR to somebody, what's your go-to app? Like, you wanted to give somebody a good experience.
It's an oldie, but I would still think about Job Simulator.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. You chuck a quest on somebody in Vacation or Job Simulator.
Yeah.
Most people can pick up what you do or do not need to do in that game, or you can literally do things that you shouldn't do and still have fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is good. It's why the Super Art demo was always pretty good, because you got to just be slow-mo badass, which is always fun. So yeah, that makes sense. So on Apple, they're sort of, if I had a Vision Pro, I would put you in the dinosaur experience. That would be what I did. It has that very much, and it shows that this thing is going to give you great experiences in a big bad way.
Yeah.
It's so crystal clear and effective, and they do things in it that you're like, that's incredibly impressive. And so to have that, I think it's going to be very good for those sort of kind of impressive experiences. But gaming wise, you're going to be limited to connecting a PlayStation controller and playing flat games on it at best.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people do that dinosaur experience like online where they capture it, and it honestly made me think my CV1 came with a demo thing where there's a dinosaur in a hallway. It walks towards you. It was sort of like little experiences where it was more watching things, and obviously being in VR and being in that 3D environment, but watching things. So it was like a dinosaur in a hallway. It was like I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a freebie.
I don't know. See, in the early days when people were like, VR, what's that? And I chuck them in a DK2, it was very similar situation. I would put them in back to Dinosaur Island, which was a Crytek.
Yeah, it was Crytek that made this thing. Maybe it was that.
It was a dinosaur in a hallway.
Maybe I can't remember. I'm remembering it wrong, being in a hallway.
You're in a cave.
That might be it. Yeah. It was a Crytek thing, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good.
So that's it is a great demo, and I think that you are going to get a lot of really nice experiences, but you're not going to be sat playing in it for hours on end. You're
Yeah.
going to be, you know, watching movies, sending emails, but I don't think you're going to be gaming like you would. You're not going to be playing Synth Riders, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So but one thing it does do well,
yeah,
is travel.
Mm-hmm.
Something about you chuck an Apple Vision Pro on. Every single headset that I've used, may it be a Quest, PSVR, even the Magic Leap, you put it on and then you end up looking around your room like you're Stevie Wonder. You're just all over the place. Your head's going everywhere.
Yeah.
You put the Apple Vision Pro on, it's just like, yeah, now I wear them.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need any crazy setups like that.
Yeah.
And that allows them to basically be usable in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Or on a plane.
Yeah.
And that's something that everyone's like, oh, my Quest can do everything an Apple Vision Pro can't. Apple Vision Pro can. And then you just turn around and say, get in a car. And then they're fucked.
Yeah.
Because it can't do it. It breaks.
Yeah.
Until now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Meta really do see the Apple Vision Pro as a competitor, and B, do you think they're basically trying to be like, yeah, well, we can do it for $500, so where's the other 3,000 going?
Yeah, I think one thing Meta do well is keep the price down for what they offer, and I think until something can come out and challenge that, I don't think they've got a mass competitor in there.
It is a shame because there are so many people that we know that I don't even think they're anti-meta as such. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are definitely people we know that are anti-meta. But they're not going to be able to experience a lot of games like Batman, like Ultimate Swing Golf, like Real VR Fishing. They're not going to be able to experience those games because the money's in Meta.
Yeah.
And they don't have those headsets, which is a real shame.
Mm-hmm.
It is a real shame. But I can understand other people have both financial and moral problems with Meta, and that's understandable as well. But I think would you feel a complete dick on a plane or a train or something in a Quest 3?
Maybe on a train, maybe not on a plane, but I don't.
See, my issue is every chance I have to wear one. Like anytime I travel, I'm usually the person driving. I don't get a chance. And then if I did get into a situation where I wanted to watch a movie or something like that, I'm just gonna wear the extra layers. I'm just gonna wear them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, definitely. When you've got that available, because they just look like sunglasses. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. It's great. The spatial world is great. I just don't know if I care.
Yeah. I think my problem is as well, when I'm traveling, I'm normally traveling with someone. So I wouldn't want to put one on just not to be rude.
That's it. See, I'm going to Liverpool in a month.
And
I'm going to be a passenger on the way there. But I just don't want to be an asshole and ignore the driver.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get a chance to use it. And then, as I say, everywhere else I go, I'm the driver, so I'm not going to get a chance. I was contemplating, there's a Pimax event in London.
Yeah.
In a week or two. And I thought maybe I could get the train and go to it. But it's just going to be so much time of my life for what I presume to be about 10, maybe 30 minutes in a Pimax headset, and then that'll be it. I'll probably get to speak to other people I know and friends and stuff, which is good. But it's a long way to go to sit in a Pimax headset that I've kind of already tried.
I think in the last update about that in the chat was Callum saying that he thought every slot was booked because he's been told he has to wait for a slot to become available because it's fully booked.
Yeah.
Then Ham's been asked as well, so Ham's just I think there's a bit of confusion over what's going on with it.
I got an email like last week about it, and I thought I'll see if I can get the day off work, and work haven't responded back to me, so I've not responded back to them. I would love to have a relationship with Pimax, but I get the impression that this is literally just going to be a bunch of people that maybe don't know that much about VR, but they know how to put a Pimax on somebody and say, right, click that button.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it. So if I got chance to like speak to people from Pimax, I'd jump on it. I'd be, badgering work and be like, get me this day off now. But I really don't. It's literally just going to be something that if you subscribe to their newsletter or something, if you go onto the Pimax website, you can book a demo of a Pimax crystal.
Yeah.
And I've already tried one. I already tried one at Gary's, so I don't need to go down to London for that.
I just vowed to never never buy a Pimax product again after getting the 5K XR.
Because that's something that's happened over the course of the last few months that we've probably not discussed. I always said that the Pimax Crystal would be a brilliant headset if they stopped trying to be a Quest with it, took out all of the gubbins that makes it a standalone headset, and just made it a PC VR headset and charged a lot less. And by all accounts, that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
It's about £700. And honestly, I would struggle not to recommend that to somebody. Oh, do I get an Index or do I get a Pimax Crystal? Get a Pimax.
Mm-hmm.
You'll save a couple £100. You don't have to have base stations. And it's just superior to the Index in pretty much every way, bar tracking. And the tracking's not bad. It's just, the lighthouse is always going to be way more accurate. But it's a very pretty place to place your face.
I basically fell out from the... I mean, it's just a bad user experience. That's put me off them. Like, Pi Tool was terrible. Getting told by...
So that's it.
Getting told by the team off the official support forum to make sure to tape around all the joints to stop potential cracking of the casing, because the casing's weak and things like that. And I was like, oh, God.
That's the thing that would stop me from recommending a Pimax. Is that they seem to be the joy way of VR headsets.
Yeah.
They announce 20 headsets a year, release about 3 of them to the public, and then say, well, if you pay for this one, you could always trade it in for the next one next year. And I'm like, just make a headset and dial it in for a few years so you've got a good product, and then build on that one. Don't just announce 7 million headsets.
Well, they announced that Portal, didn't they? And then that seemed to be all the big thing that they're focusing on, this Portal one, and then it's just... And they're sort of just... Now they've stopped supporting it. They're not bothered about it anymore. It's like, well...
As I say, that came out.
People backed that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just fell on its arse. Like, I heard nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Until I was just... So for the people that don't know me, I have a lot of random, what people would deem to be random saved searches on eBay. And when it popped up that I could get a Pimax Portal, I was like, really? That's out already? Like, when did I knew Pimax announced it? I didn't realize they were shipping. They just need to, like, the Quest 2 is 2-3 years old at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And and Meta still ship them.
Yeah.
So nail down your supply and putting out a quality product, then make it better. Don't just announce 5 headsets a year. That's the thing. So they're doing one thing that HTC don't seem to understand, and that is pricing it fairly competitively. I mean, if I was stood there and looking at recommending a PC VR headset to somebody, naturally I'm probably going to say just buy a Quest, because if your PC kind of sucks, then you've got a Quest. And if your PC doesn't kind of suck, then you've got a PC VR headset that's very, very serviceable. Then plan B, I'm going to be like, DPVR. You want a dedicated PC headset, DPVR. And then if you want a better experience than that, I guess you could buy a Pimax if you wanted to. HTC never seems to enter that thought process for me.
No, I think they're switched too much to enterprise to even recommend them to. I mean, I love HTC's headsets. I've got a lot of them.
What was the last headset they released?
The Vive Pro 2.
The Vive Focus?
Oh my god, what did they call it?
You see? Like, HTC have just kind of fallen off the map. They were the Xbox 360 of VR headsets when the Vive came out. And then the Oculus PlayStation has just destroyed them.
XR Elite, is it? HTC XR Elite? Is that what it is? I can't remember.
I've got the Cosmos Elite, but I know they've released the Flow and the Focus since. Because I think they're on the Focus 3 now, because I've actually had one in my hands. Not on my face, but in my hands at a VR arcade. So I know they've definitely got the Focus 3.
That's how I'm going.
But I thought it was the
XR Elite was the latest one.
Yeah, the Quest Pro of Vive.
Yeah,
headset.
that was the XR Elite.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know what HTC are doing. I don't think we can rely on HTC to oppose Meta anymore.
No.
We need a villain. We need a competitor for Meta. I always thought it would be HTC, and it's not.
I thought it'd be Pico, but they've sort of.
Yeah, they've kind of they've let off the gas a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's many rumors flying around that they're leaving the market, but then at EGX last year they had a big presence. They hired a massive chunk of floor space and had people playing Pico, their version of Beat Saber, which was a bit odd. Yeah, so that was a thing. But then I've not really heard a great deal from Pico since the 4. Although I think there's rumors of a 4S or something coming. So hopefully Pico is still very much in there, because before the price change, I would always say Pico 4 over Meta. The library is getting better and better, and it was a superior headset by a long way. But now the Quest is like £200. Oh yeah, get a Quest 2.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to spend £400, wait a while and spend an extra £80 and get a Quest 3.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So something you backed for the Quest, which I didn't know what it was until you told me about, and I had a research on it earlier. You backed it on pre-launch.
Yeah, I was skimming through some website or another, and tracking cookies are great fun. And so eventually my phone knows very much I'm into VR, and it showed me this thing that apparently gives eye tracking to any headset and allows dynamic foveated rendering. And because I like throwing money away on stupid, frivolous things, Decker, I threw a bit of money at this thing to see if it's actually going to come into fruition. I don't think I'm going to see anything for my money,
Decker.
but it'll be interesting to see if it does.
Yeah.
So it's called the. I need to check my email. It's like the
Inzai Lumi.
Yeah, that thing. I can't find any reference to it anywhere else, which makes me wonder if I've actually just gone onto a website and given them my card details, and now I'm just going to have my bank account emptied. But I did find a reference to it being a Kickstarter soon. Do you know, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think I need to change my bank details. Yes. So if it's inside enter a new realm, this is confirmed. So it looks like a little dongle that just connects to USB-C, and then oh dear god, that looks all 3D printed and shit. Presumably what it's going to do, rather than using cameras, it's going to use the NVIDIA method of just like IR lights to track eyes. So it's really low power, and it's going to be on a Meta Quest, AI-based camera-free eye tracker. Harness the power of predictive foveated rendering, which is something that absolutely needs to happen. I've said this since the PSVR 2. Eye tracking needs to be the industry standard.
Yeah,
absolutely it does. Because as soon as it becomes the industry standard, things like, you know, VR gaming on middle to low end PCs can become a thing again. You don't have to worry about having a 4090 to play your games, because you'll be able to play it with your 1080 Ti or your 2060 Super or whatever. And you'll still be able to have a good time, because it can offload so much of the graphical processing power to just where you're looking. It needs to happen. It needs to be the future.
Yeah.
So hopefully it can, and it will.
So what I found is, looking at it though, is like, I find a problem with it being on, I know it's super low power, but you can't charge your, I mean, you could probably buy I don't know the way it's shaped, but it's taking
on the bottom.
All right, okay. I would say it's taking that spot off your Meta, but you can plug in the bottom and still charge.
So when you look at it, which could potentially cause problems with the Quest 3, it seems to connect to the USB-C and the headphone socket.
Yeah, that's something I noticed. I thought, does it have a speaker built into it? Because
on a Quest 2,
you're taking up the headphone socket, yeah, but it's got a problem on the Quest 3 because they're on separate sides now.
Exactly. So that's going to be interesting. It does say it's compatible with Quest 3. But if it can introduce eye tracking and save, even if it just lowered the battery usage of the Quest, because it could turn down the graphical processing, you could then have so many better experiences because of what it does. So I'm hopeful. There are other things that when you look at it, in fact, there's a mock-up of the Quest 3 version on this website as well.
Okay.
For those of you that want to know what I'm looking at, I'll chuck it in the chat right now. Or don't look. As I say, it could be a scam. But I've thrown money at it anyway. And as I say, there is apparently a plan for a Kickstarter in the near future. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like. I mean, it's $1 and it's apparently refundable.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the $10 I threw at Decker Move. So
I claim that. Back me off, Decker.
Did you?
Yeah.
I never bothered. I was like, do you know what? You tried a thing. That's fine.
I wanted it for the eye tracking and face tracking, and obviously I'd bought the Vive face tracker, and then I bought the Vive Pro Eye, and I was just like, I don't really need the Decker anymore, like, because the Decker was just went really quiet, and then I saw the Pro Eye for an alright price, and I thought, you know what, I've got the Pro Eye. I've already got the facial tracker. I don't need the Decker anymore. And then I just cancelled my pre-order, and the money went straight back in within like 5 days. So.
See, one thing about this thing that does not so much worry me, but it has a cable that comes out around the facial interface.
Yeah, that's the other thing I
You need
noticed.
to figure that out.
I was thinking like you could just put it under it and put the facial, but then I thought the Quest 3 isn't a removable one, is it? So like, it's not a Velcro.
Yeah. In the prototypes, it's also a braided cable.
Yeah, so yeah. Because I was thinking that's going to knock your face.
Yeah, in the other mock-ups they have, it seems to be more of a flat ribbon, which could then also be fragile.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they can figure out a way where you pop out the eye in the facial interface,
Yeah.
put it on, and then put the facial interface back on. That would be better, I think. I wonder if the headphone jack was actually there more to locate it than it was anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's apparently a user manual, which I'm clicking on and it does nothing, so that's good. So yes, it's a thing. It's going to be very low power and incredibly accurate and very quick by all accounts.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard many of these things before,
Decker.
and they never come to fruition. So I'll keep an eye on it at least, because it could change the way we VR.
Yeah.
Even if it adds purely eye tracking to any headset for PC VR, even if it did that and it didn't work with a Quest native, it would still be a massive upgrade. And then once more headsets use that, devs can implement it in the games and it becomes an industry standard, and that's what we need to happen.
Yeah.
One thing I love about the Crystal, it has eye tracking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see.
So you have tried some other tech, which I'm interested to hear your early impressions of it, because I nearly got I'd actually won one of these on eBay a while back, like not long after trying the HoloLens, because I thought the Magic Leap sounded better than the HoloLens, and put the money through to PayPal to the guy, and he just wasn't accepting it on PayPal, and then I was like messaging him. He said, "Oh, he's never used PayPal before. This is the first thing he was selling, although he had a seller rating on there." And I was like, "Right, well, I've given you the money. Like, you just need to accept it.
Be my thing.
Just approve it, and then it'll go through." And then he just kept not doing it, and then because it was the best offer, I gave him best offer, and he accepted it. And then he said, "Oh, I've had enough. Oh, I'm having problem getting in my PayPal." And then he messaged me like days later saying, "Oh, I've had a better offer. If you want to like go over it, then it's yours." And I was just like, "Oh, just forget it. Just decline my transaction, please."
So I can't remember the HoloLens, but what I do remember is better than that.
Yeah.
By quite a long way. The holograms are nice. They are quite nice. If I was to compare it to, say, the X-Real, it's not as bright or as clear.
Yeah.
But it is quite a machine. Everything about it feels incredibly premium. And if you don't mind the fact that it's going to become a paperweight in 5-6 months, they're available on eBay for less than 80 quid. Or you could come see me and you can play with mine. It's fine. You've just got a few months to do it. But yeah, it's got a lot of features like it has eye tracking in there. I wish I could do more with it, like, use it for media or connect it to a PC and do all the things with it. But the brick that's powering it is pretty chunky. It's the Apple Vision Pro of 4 years ago, 5 years ago, long time. You can have multiple different things pinned around the world, and you can be, looking at pictures over here and a heart over there and I did manage to get the whale to work. I did find the whale and got the whale working last night. So I had a good play around with it last night, and it is a nice, impressive bit of kit, and I would love to see a more modern one.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like to see the price tag. And the thing is that its biggest use cases all seem to come from industry. It doesn't seem to come from, leisure, recreation.
Yeah.
So I like it, and I'm happy that I have it.
Yeah.
And as I say, for 80 quid, I'm more than happy to keep hold of it and pop it on a shelf and just say I have one and I'm glad I do.
Yeah. Because I had has it got a better the FOV on the HoloLens was tiny, and that's what did it in for me.
Yes, I have some videos on the unit itself. I'll see if I can pull them off and send them over to you to try and maybe give you a bit of an idea as to what you're looking at. It's probably slightly smaller than the X-Real Airs, but way bigger than the HoloLens. Like the HoloLens felt like it was a postage stamp.
Yeah.
Just a teeny tiny little.
I think the original HoloLens was about
view.
45 degrees or something, wasn't it? It was tiny.
Yeah, this is much bigger than that, I'm sure. I say, if
it was even worse.
Looking at this, if I was looking at this 3 or 4 years ago, I would be very, very impressed.
Yeah.
Looking at it today, I'm pretty impressed.
The original HoloLens, on a search there, the original HoloLens had a 34-degree field of view.
Yeah, that seems very similar to my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll give it more than it had.
The Magic Leap 2 looks a lot tidier, a lot closer to a pair of glasses as opposed to a pair of goggles. To buy, I am not seeing a monetary value here, just pictures of surgeons and people in warehouses.
I always say it's a bad thing when they don't give you a price and you've got to inquire what the price is. I think it was a HoloLens 2. When that first came out, you had to inquire about the price. I was like, it shows it's a bad sign.
I'm not seeing any option to buy it at all.
Yeah, I think with HoloLens, you have to inquire about a price. They get back to you and ask you to fill a survey in about how many employees you have in your company, because it was obviously meant to be for companies. And then they would get back to you with the price if you passed all these questions and stuff. I was like, that was the HoloLens 2. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Just tell me how much.
They're literally telling me the product exists, but not where and or how to buy one. There's a Magic Leap 2, a Developer Pro Edition, and an Enterprise Edition. I know there's 3 different types, but I'm not seeing a shop.
But Magic Leap just given up altogether?
I don't know.
They might not be selling them anymore. I don't know whether they were exiting altogether.
It would. I mean, it'd be a shame, but it would also make sense. Because, quite frankly, what is it good for?
I think the problem is with these companies now is, yes, the Apple Vision Pro is expensive, but when you actually look at those sort of headsets, the HoloLens was that much.
Oh, here we go. No, buy it now. United Kingdom. You can buy it from all of these different places, so they don't actually sell them. Various options say contact reseller. £3,370.
That's, I mean, all these headsets
the Magic Leap 2
that are coming out in that area are the price of an Apple Vision Pro, and I think people go for the Apple name over some unknown. Really, I know they're known in the XR space, but if you look at it and go, actually, I want this type of device, you're gonna go for the Vision Pro for that price because that's $3,000, isn't it, dollars? So
Yeah, although it's only available in the US, so at least I can buy this in the UK. Case studies: Magic Leap versus HoloLens. FAQs here.
I mean, it should walk all over the HoloLens.
It features industry-leading optics with up to 70-degree diagonal FOV, dynamic dimming capability, and powerful computing in a lightweight ergonomic design.
Yeah, the HoloLens 2 FOV was 52, so 70's like.
Still, yeah, although they do say they make a point of telling you it's diagonal.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So we'll see. Well, yeah, so that's 3,300 quid from that particular distributor. Others may vary. A good chunk of them say just contact reseller. Primo IT, B2B IT solutions. Order your Pico, right, 101. Order your Magic Leap now. 3,365 out of stock.
Yeah, so you're looking at.
So it's $3,000.
Yeah.
What bugs me is, why is the one disappearing? Is that just because they want to sell the threes or the twos, or they say is Magic Leap just dying?
No.
Yeah, £3,400 with shipping. Don't know about that one.
When was this posted? May the 20th. Oh, that's 2020. Magic Leap has struggled for a while, and they've been given a grant to help save employees' jobs, and that was in 2020.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a future for my ML1, or if that is genuinely just going to become a total brick in December.
You like to have
or if it's going to work.
Like I said,
you just can't do anything with it.
You like to have a collection of stuff, so it's in
This is the thing.
in your collection.
I'll just pop it on a headset and strap the puck to the wall with it and call it a day. But yeah, for that money, I'd rather buy a.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said as well, you've got
Apple.
You've got it for cheap, so even if you just get a chance to have a look and then you put it on your shelf. I've got all sorts on my shelf that I've never touched. For example, my Pi Max now is about 800 quid, and that's just on the shelf, never touched.
So, actually, currently on eBay, £54.90. Magic Leap, brand new in box. Yeah, that's crazy. That. Brand new, unused, unopened, undamaged, original packaging. Visible FOV, 40-degree vertical, 30-degree vertical, 50-degree diagonal. So there you go. That's your numbers.
May have to
54 quid.
Arrange coming up to see before it debunks just to have a look at one.
For 54 quid, I'm tempted to buy one just so I can keep it in the wrapper. Because it is fun. But yeah, we need to do that before December, I think. This seller tell you about the fact that it is going to die on its arse. Now, the seller doesn't even mention the fact that you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to activate it, which you do. But it's doable.
So I put a chat if you want to ask any questions in this time. I mean, we did get one earlier while you were streaming, and we both realised we didn't really put any thought into it after the stream. But
So yeah, Shay asked earlier because we were talking about Power Wash Simulator, and I said every simulator game should be a VR game. But what should be a simulator? Like, what would you want simulated in VR? Now, I don't know whether you're still in the chat, but does that mean what simulator game would you like to have a VR conversion, or what task of the world would you like to have a simulator game of that is then also VR version?
I know, like in my head, I know it was more of a fun. I say fun, but you know, like the crime scene cleaner. I had to go and clean all the blood and stuff up. Was it
Oh, like Viscera.
Viscera? That's what it was called. I was thinking what it was.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing where we just go clean up crime scenes, or a forensic crime person one. Maybe.
That when you said like crime scene cleaner, I was just like, do you know what? CSI. Actually, I think I own a CSI VR game. So yeah, that could be pretty cool. What about like so one of my first thoughts was like, what about a beekeeper simulator? But then I would also want it to be like a beekeeper simulator. So you do maintain a hive of bees, but then you also go around and set the world to rights by murdering people. Oh yeah, spoilers if you've not seen that movie. So that would be pretty cool. Or maybe a zoo simulator minus the shit shoveling.
Yeah, we sort of had the zoo tycoon type thing.
Yeah, I don't want to build the zoo. I just want to, learn how to look after a giraffe.
I mean, I could say a cat simulator, but we've got that now. And I Am Cat.
We have many of those.
And I Am Cat.
There's I Am Cat. There's Cat Lateral Damage, and coming soon, Rocket League, but with cats. So yeah, there's many sort of I Am a Cat. So yeah, I potentially want to simulate that.
Yeah.
Or what's another task that I would like? So Power Wash Sim is great. We kind of have car maintenance simulator in the form of wrench. We can fly stuff. We can drive stuff. We can
window, not like power wash, but window cleaner, and maybe you can put on night mode where you might catch some women or men in the naughties while you're cleaning the windows.
Mode, well, like first thing in the morning mode.
I'm surprised they're not. I'm surprised there's not already one of them anyway, with all the weird games that are on Steam for that area.
Or thinking about the game, the content warning. What about if you had like QVC simulator, where you had to try and sell like drones to lonely women in the middle of the night? This carpet shampoo is the best thing you've ever had. So then you got to try 1 million different products.
Yeah.
And try and sell them to people. Yeah, I want to do that. Because then you get to like blow dry and carpet shampoos and drones, and that's totally doable. That's my idea. Copyright. If that fucking turns up now, I want money.
That is a good idea, because you
VR
could test all your stuff, couldn't you? Like, oh look how well this works.
Yeah. Like it's a series of gimmicks, basically, which is all VR has been for a very long time. Oh, you can climb, you can use a bow and arrow, you can shoot skeet. Like a lot of games are basically just a gimmick that they've shoehorned into a particular skin.
Yeah.
So QVC selling shit simulator is literally you can fly a drone, you could do pressure wash, you could do lawnmower, you could do all of the different simulators in one. I just wished for 1 million wishes, didn't I? I'm sorry. I hope that answered your question. Even though I did technically just wish for 1 million wishes.
Telesales simulator,
yeah. And the better you demonstrate the product, the more sales you make. and then you get to go on the next night.
You can make
Maybe you have to live on coffee or cocaine or something so you can stay awake at 3 a.m.
you could make like one of those terrible infomercials for when people are laid in bed as well.
Yeah.
Like Simba mattress, which is always on when I'm in a hotel. Wake up when I fall asleep with the telly on. I know so much about Simba mattresses. I don't really need to know. Well, yeah, it'd be good.
So yeah, that's my thing.
That's a good one.
It's kind of a cheat, but yeah, I want to sell stuff on TV.
Yeah. Like it gives you a script to read out, and it picks up on how well you've read it out, your pronunciation and stuff like that.
Yeah, and content warning, viral clips after the fact.
Yeah, could help.
Perfect.
Could help the product, like that stupid sticky tape man. How many memes and stuff for him? That one sticks of tape over the holes and
the
silly bang.
what's it called?
Don't know.
I can't even remember the name of the product now.
And it was silly and the silly bang man, bang, and the dirt is gone.
Like, yeah, I mean, like literally on content warning, it could show you a video afterwards, and then you could just download it and post it to social media.
Yeah. There we go.
And they could get you selling the most random shit, like zombie hands. Or something. Let's call it Frankenstein store, where you have to sell parts to make Frankensteins. You don't have to be selling drones, but yeah, or Halloween DLC. There we go. I've just added more content now. Yeah, that is such a versatile idea. I totally want to see that get made.
There we go. That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. Question by 13, I think it sort of goes on that. What experience would you want in VR that isn't there yet?
What?
Experience would you want in VR that isn't there yet? Like what activity would you like as a simulator?
Oh. It isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Well, I've already waved my hands like a cat boxing a gigantic ape. So that's, check.
Done a bungee jump one. Skydiving, I suppose, as we've done wingsuit, haven't we?
I mean, you can literally skydive with a VR headset.
Yeah.
In Manchester. Do it when you're there. Tell me what it's like. What experience would you want in VR that isn't there yet?
I think like I know I've done it through Prairie Dog Mod, but maybe like a proper good motocross one.
What about a and I'm thinking, enterprise location based astronaut. I want to be zero gravity. I want to be even if it's like the liftoff and feeling the G-force of liftoff and things like that.
Yeah.
Like something like that would be pretty dope. I'm always going to lean towards space. That's my thing. I dig space in VR. So yeah, I would love to experience that without actually going to space.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Cave exploration.
Spelunking simulator. No, I don't like being cold or wet or away from power or potentially die. Yeah, I'm not. No way am I going caving. That actually exists in. It's another one of these. I own it on Quest. Is it called Tunnels or something, or is that a movie? There's a game that did its round on the Quest that was kind of like a VR cave horror thing.
I'm trying to make a crazy extreme sports. Like, said, we got we got this wingsuit one already. So skydiving probably wouldn't be anything because we got that. Oh, what's it called? The wingsuit one?
Rush.
So I suppose that sort of, I know it's not skydiving, but sort of does it.
It's you jump from a very tall place and then land with a parachute.
Yeah, it's on the
You just
bungee.
fly in between like a squirrel.
It's New York bungee, which I've got.
The only other thing then is making me tiny. Do you know the kind of thing where you can like crawl into somebody's ear
That's fair.
and then pump around the body?
Just stuff that in the chat at the exact same time you were saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be another way of doing things, either being, changing scale.
Like Osmosis.
Than,
was it Osmosis Jones?
I don't know. No idea.
The little,
I don't want Magic School Bus fucking,
the little
you
blue
sit there
man.
in a chair and it flies you around.
Osmosis Jones. Yeah, it was,
I don't want a roller coaster around the body. I want to literally just pick an orifice and go.
I'm sure Osmosis Jones went into bodies. This little blue man that went into bodies and fought stuff. Like diseases and stuff.
Okay, it was just like a TV show?
Guns, it was like a movie. Osmosis Jones. It's like a movie.
No idea.
But yeah, that sort of thing, yeah, go inside, explore human body. Rather than these ones where like you can basically go, oh yeah, I'll have a look at what the vein system looks like and it shows you on a model. Like go in and actually do stuff.
Crash Test Dummy Simulator.
Yeah, whack
You
into
just
stuff.
get to just try and crash as hard and as crazy as possible. And in the most unsafe vehicles too. It would be horrible for VR in the sense of like maybe you get decapitated and you get to see the head rolling away. I just kind of want to try it.
Yeah.
And another thing, we were talking about this the other day. I'm curious to know what it's like on the other side of the camera of an escape room. I've been inside the room a million times, but is there a game where I can literally guide people through an escape room?
I don't think so.
I want to be sat in the office just watching them flicking through Instagram, just being like, no, you should have answered this question by now. Take a look at the toilet on the left, and then just go back to Instagram, and then 10 minutes later be like, yeah, no, you're in front, it's fine. Yeah, like I'm curious to know what that side of the fence is like.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
that's a thing for another day.
Yeah. I think we should I think we've got a good stopping point. No more questions there. We've had talks about we need to go and pitch this teleshopping simulator to people.
I'm telling you, other brands are available, QVC, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way forward, and it will be so not easy to implement, but like there's so many different ways it's already been done. You just shoe on 8 different games into one game.
Yeah.
Stay on the air as long as possible.
So, we'll be back the end of next month. We will
Tell your date if you like. Mark your calendars. Unless Paul's busy.
the 25th.
It would be the 25th.
Yeah, I come back from Manchester on the 24th, so.
Okay, lovely.
Hopefully
he's human.
I'll be human. Are we dancers? I'm going to see Oculus on that weekend. On the Saturday. But yeah, anyway, thank you for everyone who's joined, raised questions. We will be back. We've got a guest. We haven't got one lined up, but it doesn't mean it can't change in the next so many days. It could be you, as I say.
Why can't you be both?
Well, guest and...
No, human and dancers.
I don't know.
Not mutually exclusive. Song makes no sense. Cancelled.
Cancel them. Yeah, thank you everyone. And until next month, we're going to raid Tam 2 since he's live. He's drawing Prince of Persia, I believe. So let's
Oh, nice.
go and hammer.
Gotta love me some Tam too.
Let's go and,
Thanks for coming by, everybody, and listening to us.
go and get him. But yeah, thank you everybody who's listening on the audio side. And we'll be back next month. If there's a guest, it'll be advertised on the other thing. X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
The internet.
Yeah. If not, it'll
That's
just be us again talking stuff we've done, stuff we've maybe not done, stuff we've plan on doing. I don't know, but it will be there. So thank you everyone, and until next month, goodbye for now.